Hello everybody, JWhisp here, and today I'm coming at you guys with somewhat of an interesting video. None of these pictures or videos you are about to see were provided by me. They were all found on Twitter, and I will give the links to the respected people in the description below. But it looks like we have some new leaked armor, a new pack, some of the stats for the armor, some pets, a new gauntlet, and a bunch of new mounts that I am totally excited about because these look awesome. So I will be putting the pictures on the screen of different sets as we talk about them. So for the armor, let's get right off the bat. I'm not going to waste any time because I'm just going to try to get this information to you guys because this is so cool. It looks like we have 3 new sets: the Unicorn Paladins, Unicorn Champions, and Unicorn Knights. I'm not exactly sure which one's which. I'm just going to kind of do the armor in a random order, but let's look here. First, we have this colorful set. We have the front and back of this. This looks really cool. It definitely looks like a unicorn. You have the unicorn horn, you have the long hair, you have the bow. So I'm wondering if this is going to relate to some kind of new unicorn gauntlet or world we're gonna go to. I'm honestly hoping we don't have a unicorn world. That'd be kind of weird, but you can see it has a bow. It kind of has like this hair hanging from. It has the nice blue and rainbow color scheme. The armor doesn't look the best, but I'll show you guys the stats for all the armor in a second. I'm not going to kind of match the stats with the armor because I'm not exactly sure which stats go with which armor. Next, we have this kind of dark set. I think this looks kind of cool. It kind of looks like almost an evil, corrupted type unicorn. I really like the black and gray theme. Again, the armor doesn't look amazing, but it definitely looks pretty cool, and it's definitely worthy to talk about. It has the horn again, and it kind of, I don't know, I just really like the feel of this armor. And then we kind of have this other colorful set. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I mean, I like this one too. This one kind of looks like a more girlish set, even though the picture has a boy. It uses more like pinks and greens. This one, I don't know, it looks pretty decent too, but I like the bows. For these, I'd probably use the bows in Stitch, but not the actual armor. And then we start to see some of the stats here. So first we see the Unicorn Paladin's Rainbow, clever name. For level 130 plus, gives really good stats to the elemental schools. It gives more damage for fire than for storm, which is kind of interesting. Gives a decent amount of crit and pip conversion. Level 130 gives 2 cards each and has a Maycast Infal. So I think that's interesting because that might actually be a viable option for people in PvP that are the elemental schools. For the Maycast Infallible, I know I use it on some of my pets, but it might be interesting having it on a wand. Next we have the Unicorn Paladins Sabatons. I may have pronounced that wrong. I'm not really sure. It looks like from the kind of picture you can see behind that these are boots. You can see great amount of health, decent amount of crit, resist, and again, a lot of damage for fire, ice, and storm, as well as some pips there. And then it also gives gives 2 cards of super charge, which I guess is only really good for storm. I don't know why any other class would want it. So this definitely looks like a very offensive set. It gives a decent amount of resist, but the damage is off the chain. Next, we have the Unicorn Paladin Helmet, which again gives good amount of health. Oh my god, I can't talk. Good amount of pip chance, good amount of crit, and good amount of damage. So this pack seems really interesting because I'm just wondering, where do they get this unicorn theme from? I mean, I kind of understand it because, you know, unicorns, wizards, I guess they're kind of in the same realm. This armor isn't anything too magical and great. I guess we'll just have to see how it is in the future. And then we have the Unicorn Paladin Plate. So this one gives all resist. This is a very defensive one, especially for elementals. Gives a good amount of incoming and a good amount of shadow pip. And then it gives 2 frozen armor cards. So that's pretty decent. I don't know if anyone would actually use that, but again, it's not horrible. And then we're on to this set where it's kind of the spirit schools. We have the Unicorn Knights Rainbow. Crit, and again, pip conversion, great. Decent amount of damage to all the schools. And then you also have a Maycast Vengeance. So that's really good, I guess, for anyone trying to do some kind of crit. We also get a square socket on this one as well. And then we have the Unicorn Knight's Helmet, which gives decent amount of health, decent amount of crit, and all that pip conversion stuff. This one actually doesn't get pip conversion. It's pretty much the same thing as the Unicorn Paladin set, except it's for Spirit Schools instead of Elemental. And then we have the Unicorn Knight Sabatons, which are the boots. Again, good health, good crit, good resist, and really good damage on these boots here. I'm surprised. And then we have the Unicorn Knight's Plate. Again, very defensive, an amazing amount of outgoing health. And 2 Dryad cards, which is actually pretty decent. And then we have the final set, the Unicorn Champions, which is just universal, or if you're balanced, this is probably what you'll use. A good amount of crit, good amount of damage and pip conversion, good card, square socket, and may cast Amplify, which is pretty decent. And then we have the Unicorn Champion Sabatons, which is just universal crit, damage, resist, pretty much good for anyone, or if you're a balance. And then we have the Unicorn Champion Helmet, which is pretty good. Gives some pretty good stats. Again, not the best gear, not the worst. If you're too lazy to farm and want some decent gear, I guess this gear would be good for you. But if you have any farmable gear for 130, it's going to be better than this. And then we have the Plate, which gives some decent resist to balance, as well as a decent amount of incoming and outgoing healing, and a great amount of health. So that's it for the armor, guys. I really hope you're hyped about these new armor sets. We have all the stats and whatnot there. Next, I'll be talking to you guys briefly about this new gauntlet. It's a Ravenwood themed gauntlet, the Dramatory, something like that gauntlet. And I guess it just has to do with drama in Ravenwood. Not like actual drama, but like plays. So if we look at this first picture here, we see these seats all with the death symbols, and then the next row over, you can kind of see some ice symbols behind other seats. So that's interesting. It looks like there's kind of seats for each class. You see a big stage, so I bet we're going to be fighting people on this stage. You can kind of see some spectator spots. So very interesting art. There's also a link to dialogue of what will be going on. So I'll post that in the description. I won't be reading that to you guys. But some of the dialogue is pretty interesting. I'll say that. So hopefully you guys read that. And then we have this other picture here where we kind of look, and it's the picture from before, but it's destroyed. The entire stage is destroyed. There's vines growing everywhere. It looks moldy. It looks dark. It looks gross. And one common theme we'll see with the rest of the things we will see in this is kind of almost like corruption. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some kind of update where we kind of revisit Wizard City, but it's corrupted and dark and evil, and some new dark presence has taken over. Because you'll see with the pets and mounts, it's some familiar things we know from before, except it looks a little corrupted. So that's it for this gauntlet. Let's get on to the pets. So we have the first pet here, which looks like kind of a llama thing. I'm not really sure what this is, if this even is a pet or a boss or an NPC. No one is entirely sure and totally what it is. It has a skull above its head, which is kind of creepy. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about this because I don't have a lot of information. Let's go on to the next pet. As you can see, we have these two very spooky and creepy looking puppet marionette things that kind of look like wizards. I bet these are going to be pets from the new gauntlet. I don't know if you'll get both or they'll be farmable or anything like that. But I mean, if you just look at them, they look like they belong in a play. One looks kind of creepy, one looks kind of happy. So again, it goes along with the theme of you have one good, kind of, one evil, one normal, one corrupted. One has this Kabbalist almost symbol looking over it on its stomach. So I wonder if this new corruption of Wizard City, if this is to happen, if the Cabal will be involved. So this next pet here is a really interesting pet. It's this kind of like ghost hound looking pet. We haven't really ever had too much information on a pet like this. All I can really say is it looks pretty badass, but it also looks pretty scary at the same time. So again, kind of like a ghost. And then leading this, this will lead into our first mount, which is the, can I find it? This van parade pet thing. I think it is this vet parade truck. It might be something totally different, but we have the picture for the vet parade truck. So as you can see, I don't know, looks kind of creepy. I don't know if it's meant to look creepy, but it's definitely a truck meant for parades. It looks like it has a pretty cool horn on it. I'm not sure who's driving the truck. I can't tell if that's something is supposed to be cute and cuddly, or if that thing looks like it's about to eat me and murder me. I'm not sure. It looks pretty creepy, but we don't have too much information on this mount yet. So let's go on to the next mount here, which is the stage ship, a 2-passenger mount. Also, I forgot to mention that the previous mount, the parade truck, is a 4-person. Let me repeat that. 4 people mount, which is going to be pretty cool. But yeah, next we have the stage ship, which is pretty much just a ship that looks like it belongs on a stage. The water looks kind of fake. I'm interested to see how this one looks. As you can see, we have the pole going through the middle of it, so I wonder how high that pole goes. It's a pretty cool looking mount. I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything to mention about it. Next, we have the gyro cycle, which is a really cool looking mount, which is a 50% speed mount, which also the Vet Parade van is 50%. Only a 1-person mount. It looks pretty cool, though. We've seen this mount before. We've seen it in a teaser before Imperia was coming out. So this is definitely an Empyrean-themed mount. I don't know if this has anything to do with maybe just it'll be released in the Crown Shop. Maybe it'll be farmable. Maybe it'll be in Imperia Part 2. We have no idea, but all I can really say is that this thing looks freaking bad to the bone. I mean, this thing looks so cool. There's no complaining with this mount. And then for the final 2 pictures I have for you guys today are these 2 stag mounts. What are these guys called? I'm trying to think. I kind of forget. They're not called stags, but they're very beautiful. Maybe they are called stags. I'm trying to look. Let me look in the Crown Shop here. Yeah, they're called stags. So we've had the white stag before. We have kind of this darker stag already in the game. But then we get this new yellow one and this new red one. So, you know, the yellow one they both kind of look like they have a stern look on their face. So I don't know if this has to do with the theme of good versus evil. This might be totally something different. I might just be making this up in my head. I don't know if this will be. I'm just kind of making a theory right now. I'm just trying to make sense of this. But it kind of looks like we have this beautiful, golden, like, serene little stag. And then we have this, like, fiery red, evil-looking, like, translucent a little bit in the front, like, creepy-looking stag. I don't know. Maybe they're just different colors because KingsIsle was like, hey, let's make them different colors. They'll look cool. I really have no idea. But what we can say is that this looks pretty freaking awesome. So those are all my pictures for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this little video. I haven't seen anyone else make a video on this so far. So I'm curious as to see why no one's really made a video on this. Maybe a lot of people just haven't seen these new mounts or things yet. I know a few months ago people made a video on a new horde pack being announced, and all we really saw was very small little tidbit pictures of some of these mounts, some of these pets, and some of the unicorn armor. But now you guys can finally see the armor in its full light. You can see how it looks. You can see some of the stats. And you can see some of the new pets and mounts and what they would look like in the game. So anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for sticking by and watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.